everybody, SonGoshuaku live here with my review of WWE Evolution 2. It is arguably one of the most anticipated, long-awaited PLEs of all time in terms of wanting a sequel, and let's be honest, the build-up to this was absolutely rush. However, these ladies went out there tonight and put on a fantastic show regardless of the lack thereof build-up. So we kick things right off with Stephanie McMahon basically making her return to go ahead and co-host the show with Joe Tessitore. And it was great to see Stephanie McMahon, definitely one of the all-time greatest legends when it comes to the women in WWE history. That's rightfully so, undisputed. And then from there, we kick things off with our very first match, which was Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. All right, so kicking things right off, it was a very fast-paced match with lots of counters and near finishes. Lyra has Becky in a submission, and Bayley ended up doing a top rope elbow onto Lyra to break it up, and that was pretty nasty the way Lyra was up, and it looked like she got folded in half. Like, man, that was pretty interesting. And then we had Becky Lynch. She ended up doing a double DDT to both of them, and at one point Lyra Valkyria does this jumping top rope leg drop to both of the back of their necks on Becky and Bayley. So it looks sick. So this is a really fast-paced match. You got three of the very best in there, you know. Bayley and Becky, they've been two of the very best of the last decade, and you've got Lyra Valkyria, who is definitely on her way up, being one of the current day greats right now. And then from here, everyone's landing their finishers, and only the basically, the way a lot of the sequences in the middle of this match was working is you had one opponent would do their finishing move, and then whoever was the third person, they would come in and break it up, and would just keep doing this cycle, and it was just a fast pace, had people totally on the edge of their seat, and I think that's what really made that part unique. And then from there, towards the end of the match, Bayley hits the Rose Plant, knocking out Lyra Valkyria, but as she's going for the pin, Becky Lynch jumps over her back and rolls her up in sort of like this modified crucifix pin, and scores the 1-2-3 to retain the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. I figured I put in the no DQ predictions lead. Shout out to the good folks there, no DQ. I put in that I expected Becky Lynch to retain this championship. It feels like they're going more towards a Bayley and Becky Lynch feud, and I feel that makes total sense. This is a way to probably move Lyra Valkyria a little bit further up the card, while they add some more prestige with the Intercontinental Championship with established names like Becky and Bayley. I could ultimately see Bayley defeating Becky, but I think this was the right call, and I thought this was a great way to start off. You know, Becky Lynch, and they mentioned on commentary, going back to the original Evolution, she had one of the all-time great matches there with Charlotte Flair at in that last woman standing match. To me, that was the best match that Becky and Charlotte ever had, and they have a whole list of incredible matches. And so, just like Becky very much did, had a phenomenal match there at Evolution 1, she comes here at Evolution 2, this time with fellow four horsewomen Bayley, and, you know, the woman who basically really looked up to her a lot, Lyra Valkyria, and these three ladies went out there and killed it. This was a hot way to start off the Evolution 2 pay-per-view, and it was really good from there. All right, I'm gonna take me a break before we get to the next match here. I think I'm missing a graphic here. We're live, pal. Oh man, hey, what's up, SMP in the chat? Excuse me for a moment. I think we're missing a graphic here, and according to what I'm seeing as far as the next match, what happened to my graphic here? We have lost a graphic here. This will be edited out on the on-demand versions. you all, please forgive me here. I need to find out what happened to my graphic for the next match. All right. Okay. So, apologies for whatever happened there when I put all these graphics together. Somehow, I guess, this one got deleted, and I don't know how. Shout out to SMP in the chat. Says first, very good, very physical. First match you're talking about. All right. So yeah, I apologize for that. Once again, this will be edited out of the on-demand version. But that being said, we move on to our second match. But before then, first of all, let me acknowledge here, we got a special guest appearance from NXT General Manager Ava, World's Strongest Man and WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, and Vicky Guerrero. So great to see some of these WWE legends and Hall of Famers and future legends possibly and everything in here. But that being said, we go on to our next match, which was Jordynne Grace versus JC Jade for the NXT Women's Championship. Now, please excuse me for this one because I don't keep up with NXT on a regular basis, so I really wasn't at all very had a lot of knowledge going into this as far as the storyline and all that and everything. But it's cool to see JC Jane has gotten quite has gotten moving on up, obviously. Basically, I remember she was part of Toxic Attraction as kind of like the sidekick character, and now she's the world champion for the women in NXT. So that was cool to see how far she's come. So as far as this match, I noticed Jordynne Grace came out with Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May, in NXT. JC Jane also was with, and I forget their names. I think one was named Fallon. I think I might remember her name. Like I said, I don't really watch NXT that often, but I guess that they're part of her new group. But as far as the match goes, this match, a lot of it and I mean a lot of it, was dominated by Jacy Jayne. They made Jacy Jayne look like a beast in this match and made Jordynne Grace look like the underdog, which, you know, Jordynne Grace is a powerhouse. So, I mean, they did not, like, if this was a match to showcase if this was a match you were going into for the first time to see what this powerhouse Jordynne Grace is all about, I can't say that I think this is the best match for the showcase. But if you wanted to see what this Jacy Jayne was all about, well, man, I think this match right here really showed a lot. So basically, yeah, she takes a lot of the early part of this match as Wade Barrett and Michael Cole on commentary are focused on a lot of people saying that Jacy Jayne is going to be is being seen by many as the most beatable NXT champion in history. So I'm not sure if Jacy Jayne has been booked that strong. I know she beat Stephanie Vaquer, and I don't know if it was like a fluke victory or it was a clean finish. Like I said, I haven't watched NXT, but yeah, I'm not sure as far as what that's gone there. So anybody in the chat or watching on demand that keeps up with NXT, feel free to let me know on that. But yeah, Jacy Jayne, she puts Jordynne Grace in like a headlock, kisses her on the forehead for some reason, but then Jordynne is able to make a comeback with a spine buster. But both women, they start exchanging blows in the middle of the ring as the audience are getting really into this. You know, they're doing the yeah for Jordynne and the boo for Jacy. So audience was definitely into it. Yeah, shout out to the audience there. Atlanta, Georgia, I think they were in. Yeah, they were all into this whole show. There's a very impressive folding power bomb where Jordynne Grace sort of deadlifts Jacy Jayne, and it looks like she's gonna drop her down for like a package pile driver, but as she's going like halfway down, she's able to turn her and get her flat on her back and do the sit down power bomb position. I thought that was really cool as she lands it on the canvas. There's another impressive counter by Jordynne Grace after taking on another spot from Jacy Jayne where Jacy goes for a kick to Jordynne Grace and is able to catch her foot. And it's hard to describe this, but she sort of like goes under her leg and picks her up almost in this modified sort of Samoan drop, but she's reversed the other way. Whatever it was impressive. You know, I might have to take back what I have to say. While they didn't have Jordynne Grace dominate a lot of this match, the parts that they did have her show her power were very good. Shout out to Notorious Heels Podcast. Says, what's up, bro? We just finished our review. What did you think of the show? Oh, yep, that's what I'm doing right now. I thought the show was very good. I'm gonna go more into detail, and yeah, I'll be listening to you all tomorrow on my way to work on Spotify. Check out Notorious Heels Podcast, good friends of the channel. Really awesome stuff, definitely. But getting back to the match here, at one point in the match, yeah, Jacy Jayne, she does come back with a Hurricane Run off the top of the rope. At one point in the match, both Jacy Jayne's girls, they try to interfere, and they get laid out by Blake Monroe, who then picks up the title, and she brings it and she tries to bring it over close to the ring. And at this point, I put it in my notes, yeah, for us that have followed Blake Monroe as her time as Mariah May in NXT, I mean not NXT, AEW, we know for her coming over to NXT, yeah, this woman can't be trusted. I saw this coming a long mile away. So from here, in the end of the match, when the referee's back is turned, Jacy Jayne counters Jordynne Grace Irish whip. So as Jordynne Grace goes into the ropes, right there, Blake Monroe takes the championship and bam, nails her right in the back. Jordynne Grace goes down, and Jacy Jayne picks up the 1-2-3 to retain the NXT Women's Championship. And this allows Jacy Jayne, and yeah, from here, Jacy Jayne, as she's in the ring, Blake Monroe hands the title over her. And they made it very clear visually with this that Blake Monroe, she's not joining Jacy Jayne. She's just letting her know, I got you. I'm still coming for that title and you. But Jordynne Grace is out, and there we go. I guess it's going to begin Blake Monroe program with Jacy Jayne. I mean with Jordynne Grace. And just looking at that, I guess this is the right. They're going to go with heel. She just works so well as a heel. Does Blake Monroe. So it's like I said, anybody who's followed her in AEW as Mariah May, I mean, she is a fantastic villain. Her cadence when she speaks, the way she physically delivers, her body language, she's a fantastic wrestler, and she can get very brutal, as we saw in her phenomenal matches with Toni Storm. So she brings a lot, and I mean a lot, to the table when it comes to WWE. So I'm glad to see her there. So as someone like me who doesn't watch NXT on a regular basis, I thought this was a pretty fine match. I thought they were going to have Jordynne Grace win, because I think they say the winner here goes on to face the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion at Slammiversary. So I guess they're really going in hard with the push for JC Jane or something like that, or maybe they just want JC Jane to take the loss here. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I was for sure that we're going to probably bring Jordynne Grace and try to get the biggest featured match. But yeah, this is pretty good. And like I said, the few times that I do check out NXT, man, there's some great talent that Shawn Michaels is bringing up. It's going to be coming up here to the main roster. All right, before I take a break for water, Notorious Heels podcast says, appreciate you, bro. We thought it was an excellent as well too, bro. Yeah, definitely. Shoot, man, I probably one of the best WWE pay-per-views all year long, which ironically is exactly how a lot of us felt about the original Evolution pay-per-view back in 2018. All right, so we get to our next match. There will be no more graphic problems here. For the Women's WWE Tag Team Championships, the Judgment Day, represented by Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, versus the Kabuki Warriors, consisting of Kairi Sane and Asuka, versus Sol Ruka and Zarya. All right, let me just say right off the bat, I'm not a fan of triple threat / fatal four-way tag team matches where the two people that start in the ring and have to participate in the ring basically are going to go one-on-one, as opposed to one member of each team, whether it be triple threat or fatal four-way, having just one person of each team being there. What I'm saying is, I feel that in these type of matches, it just makes more sense to have one participant of each team wrestling at the same time. Instead, you have to hear story-wise rely on, oh man, hopefully I can get into that corner and not get accidentally tagged, or I have to prevent from going into that corner. I don't know, but maybe it's just easier to construct the match that way is maybe the reason why they do it. I'd love to know what you guys think in the chat, or those watching on demand. Are you a fan when they do these multi-matches? Would you rather one participant of each team be wrestling and they can just be free to tag in and out as they please? Or do you like the idea and the strategy that goes with trying to stay out of one corner and only going into your partner's corner and stuff like that? But other than that, it doesn't really matter, I would say, in this match, because this match eventually lost control and went to total chaos. But woo, this was a really great tag team match. So basically early on, Raquel Rodriguez is being very dominant, and eventually Alexa Bliss, she is able to get herself tagged in and knocks down Raquel to a thunderous ovation, and even slaps the taste out of Raquel Rodriguez's mouth. So that was really good. And during this exchange before Alexa Bliss, you were actually getting we want Charlotte chants, which I got more to say about that as we go through here. But Zarya, who I've seen Zarya a little bit in NXT, she tags in and does a pretty funny moment where Alexa Bliss tries to choke slam her, and Zarya ends up going ahead and putting the vice grip around Alexa's throat and gets her down to her knees, and then she pushes her up. She pushes Alexa Bliss up for a Gorilla Press Slam, but Alexa Bliss gets out of it and goes low to the back of the leg, and then attempts to do a DDT, only for in midair. So in midair, you know, when Alexa Bliss is like halfway down to the ground, Zarya is able to hang on and just slams her right to the canvas. This is followed up by Sol Ruka coming in with the over-the-top X Factor after tagging herself in from her partner. Sol Ruka's just fantastic, really athletic. Every single time I've seen her wrestle, even with my limited NXT watch time, man, she is phenomenal. Just gonna be a fun blast, I imagine, on the main roster. She had her first main roster match, in fact, on SmackDown. And so from here, the action, eventually, though, Charlotte Flair gets tagged in, and she comes into a thunderous, and I mean thunderous reaction. In fact, where the people, in the audience, they're chanting, "We want Charlotte," and she starts cleaning house, with even Wade Barrett on commentary is talking about how this is a complete 180 from the reaction fans were giving her a couple of months ago, you know, before and after the WrestleMania build. And I'll say right now, this storyline with Alexa Bliss, I feel, is really helping Charlotte Flair get over as a babyface. She's been doing interviews talking about she wants to be more of a babyface. And I mean, you could just hear the thunderous ovation. I couldn't even remember the last time Charlotte Flair got such a positive reaction from the fans. I think, in fact, you would probably have to go back 2022, when she returned to SmackDown to defeat Ronda Rousey for the world title. And I think she was even saying things like, "Whoop that trick," and the fans were getting over with her. So that was something right there, basically. So it's cool. And I think and I kind of find this whole story with her and Alexa kind of wholesome, with the way she ended up hugging Alexa Bliss and everything. And it's like Alexa Bliss is starting to bring this newer side out to her, kind of like what she did with Nikki Cross. But yeah, who knows? Maybe seeing this more fun, more human side, I guess I could say, of Charlotte Flair will make the audience connect a lot more with her. I think she's overdue for a character change, as we can see by the end of this show, and as you could tell probably by the title of this live stream. When you reinvent yourself, some really good things can happen. So it's amazing seeing what we're doing with this here. But yeah, as far as getting back to the match, the action continues to be exciting once Asuka and Kairi start doing some excellent teamwork in the ring, that even Zarya is overwhelmed by, until she's able to deliver a double suplex to both of them. And then this is followed up by Sol Ruka, who is super athletic, as I was saying. She does a standing handstand with Zarya, holding her up, and turns it into like this twisting splash to the Kabuki Warriors. Phenomenal stuff. And then she hits Charlotte with the Soul Snatcher, which is a phenomenal move. The whole thing where she runs up the ropes and does the forward flip, I think it is. No, the forward, it's a backwards backflip or something, reverse backflip into like a cutter. Sick, man. It's phenomenal. But things take a turn for the worse when Zarya goes for a spear, but Charlotte Flair is able to pull Alexa Bliss out of the way, saving her, leaving Sol Ruka to get nailed with a spear by Zarya. From here, Raquel gets tagged back into the match and eventually lays out a good majority of the opponents by powerbombing Alexa Bliss to the outside of the ring on her opponents. Roxanne then takes out Charlotte Flair with a tope suicida. Meanwhile, in the ring, Raquel Rodriguez delivers a one-arm Tahana bomb to Sol Ruka, which I thought looked sick. And 1, 2, 3, thus, as I predicted in the No DQ predictions lead, her and Roxanne Perez retain the WWE Tag Team Women's Championships. My hat's off to these 8 women. Like I said, towards the end of this match, it lost all type of chaos. This was phenomenal. This was excellent. Fast-paced action, back and forth. All 8 ladies shine in here. Really well done. Fatal 4-way tag team match. I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was phenomenal. So I can't I can't say enough good things about it. And I think Raquel and Roxanne was the right way. I really love the idea of building them up, and having this story where Roxanne sort of takes everything away from Liv Morgan, so that when Liv gets back in like probably January, it really puts a lot of heat on that feud, because Liv Morgan's going to be welcomed back as like a conquering hero, and you're going to want to see her give Roxanne what's coming to her. So yeah, I think it's interesting. And shout out to also Raquel Rodriguez, who I think in Liv Morgan's absence has absolutely been stepping it up. Raquel Rodriguez, she's been just more aggressive in the ring, trying to take more charge. It looks like in terms of this tag team with her and Roxanne. So I really like where this is going, and I think it's good. This is a great way to also let's get Raquel propelled up there into the main event scene. So yeah, let's go over here to the chat and see what we got going. So overall in the chat we see what's been said here. SMP says, yeah, this was one of Charlotte's most confident moments. Oh, for sure. How could you not be getting that type of reaction? And then he says, good or bad, Charlotte needs to be more confident. That's the thing her father was good at. If you don't believe in yourself and your ish, the fans won't. That's more than gear and other things. Interesting take there, SMP. I think Charlotte oozes of confidence when she comes out doing the whole queen gimmick and and all that stuff. It's just, I think it's been done for too long. We get it. I think she's gone maybe everywhere you can. I think she's gone everywhere you can with the character, and fans just want to see something new and everything. But thanks for sharing your take, though. That's an interesting opinion to hear in terms of Charlotte Flair. We got Rob by the Guy says, hi, hey, thank you for joining the stream. Really appreciate that. All right, before we get to our next match, gonna take a break here. All right, before the next match starts, some more acknowledgement here. We were treated to some special guest appearances by Tori Wilson, Melina, and Molly Holly. Always great to see Molly Holly, her and Lita, both my all-time two favorite female wrestlers. And hey, these women looked really great for their age. Proven age is only a number. And we also got special appearances by Jazz, Ivory, Jacqueline, and Maurice. Maurice not as old as they are in terms of age, but Jazz, Ivory, Jacqueline, I mean, shoot, all look great at their age. Especially I think Ivory and Jacqueline, who I think are in their 60s. Phenomenal. So age goes, much props to these women, showing that you take good care of yourself. And speaking of showing that age taking care of yourself, this match certainly shows that, because for the WWE Women's Championship, it was Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton. All right, so Trish Stratus, her first thing when she came out with her outfit, if you looked at her belt buckle, it had the same design as the Women's Championship design used during the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era, which was the version of the championship she held 7 times. So I thought that was a really great touch. That was really nice. Right off the bat, the opening stages of this match, Trish Stratus is very much athletically keeping up with Tiffany Stratton, despite her being 49 years of age and Tiffany being like 25 years younger than her. Trish Stratus is able to deliver some awesome just athleticness. She was moving at a fast pace, just like, man, fans were chanting, you still got it, and Trish is up here proving that she ain't never lost it. So Trish Stratus, she does deliver a stratosphere on the apron to send Tiffany Stratton flying. And then from there, Trish, while the fans are chanting, Trish still has it. At one point in the match, I'm just finding, like I said, I'm finding it just amazing at this point, just how well Trish Stratus is physically keeping up in this ring at 49. It's one thing to look good for your age. It's another thing to actually move and perform in that squared circle, that you are, and prove that you are not your age. And that's exactly what Trish Stratus Stratus was doing in there. She was doing some Hurricane Ranas, doing some tornado DDTs from the top of the rope, etc. Trish and Tiffany, they're having really good chemistry in this match, and that's what's really good. Like Trish and there was definitely no thing coming in this match where, okay, Trish is older, so Tiffany's gonna have to slow down, and Tiffany's gonna have to, really work with Trish and hide her strengths and weaknesses, and Trish, is gonna have to rely on Tiffany to make her look good. No, there was none of that. These women were both putting in 50-50 effort, going all out in this match. So this was really, really good. Tiffany, she does a phenomenal swanton bomb to Trish Stratus for a near fall. When Tiffany goes to the top rope, Trish counters with a stratosphere to a very near fall as well. There's a great sequence too where Trish Stratus well, I'm not sure how my voice to text translated this note here. I'm gonna just ignore that. Yeah, it looks like Tiffany does something but is countered. No, Trish does something but is countered by Tiffany Stratton, who once she gets Trish down, she goes up for the greatest moonsault ever, only to land on Trish's knees, and then Trish from there counters and then turns it into a Stratisfaction for a very close near fall. Okay, so that's what it was going. She was trying to go for a Stratisfaction early on. That's what gets into the sequence of Tiffany Stratton doing the greatest moonsault ever, and then Trish puts the knees up, and then Trish eventually is able to land that Stratisfaction when doing the close near fall. Yeah, I use my iPhone's voice to text feature, which is not always the best for these notes because I'm watching the show, but I'm also talking about it into my phone basically like this, so I can keep my eyes on the action and then just hope that the notes are taken down accurately so I can go ahead and review it on the show correctly. So then from there, let's see, from what remembers the first time, from what I can remember for the first time, Trish Stratus, from what I can ever remember from the first time, Trish Stratus goes for a moonsault like her best friend Lita. They mentioned that on commentary. Tiffany counters with the knees, and like I said, it's the first time I've ever seen Trish Stratus do like a moonsault, at least from what I can remember. And from there, Trish Stratus gets hit in the face from the prettiest moonsault ever, so that Tiffany Stratton can land the 1-2-3 to retain the women's championship. Yeah, it looked like her whole body came down full weight right on Trish's face. Looked brutal, but it was a great finish, and overall excellent match from both. Tiffany Stratton walks away with the championship. Meanwhile, Trish Stratus receives a standing ovation in the ring as the fans constantly say, "Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Trish." Phenomenal. I don't think the match went as long as some of the other matches did on the show, but for the time they were in there, this was great. Just really great back and forth action, not a dull moment in this match. Tiffany Stratton gets a big win, and like I say, Trish Stratus is out here proving at 49 years of age, she still looks great and she can still move great in the ring. So I really enjoyed this match. Yet another great match to add on to Trish Stratus. Phenomenal. She's able to come back this late into her career and still be adding to her already impressive resumes. Just phenomenal. And then from there, we got special guest appearances from Medusa and Leilani Kai, and everything. So obviously, if you're big fans from the 90s and 80s, you'll remember those women and everything. Medusa, of course, was right around my time. I started watching wrestling and everything, and I kind of remembered mostly her from WCW than WWE. And then let's see what we got here going on in the chat. Rob by the guy asked, did you like Evolution? Absolutely I did, man. Absolutely. We're going to get into some more good stuff here. Alright, our next match was Naomi versus Jade Cargill and with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee in a no-holds-barred match. All right, so this match starts off hot right off the bat with Naomi attacking Jade Cargill outside the ring. Eventually, a toolbox is put into play, and both ladies start using a chain against each other. Jade Cargill even grabs a camera, which you could tell obviously looked very much not as expensive as the other cameras that the cameramen were holding. So you knew it's probably some sort of prop or an old camera they were going to get rid of, and they figured, hey, why not put it in a match and use it to make some money, right? And get some impressions and stuff off of social media and likes and shares and engagement levels. So yeah, Jade Cargill grabs that camera and uses it against Naomi. Jade Cargill, she puts a trash can over Naomi, which Naomi then nearly comes out of, but Naomi puts herself back into the trash can, stands up, and then gets big booted while the trash can is over her upper body. So something probably didn't go well with that spot and everything, but yeah. Shout out to my boy, the man 0001, in the chat. Thanks for joining. I know you were very happy, man, with how this show ended. As was I. Got more to say about that later. So yeah, we get to from there, a sickening sound is made when Naomi is outside the ring because Jade Cargill drops a toolbox towards her. Naomi rolls out of the way, and the thud, the sound of that toolbox sounded, oh, that would have been also, just sounded like, yeah, that would have been nasty had it landed on Naomi. From there, Naomi then delivers a drop kick to Jade Cargill through a monitor in front of the announce table that sends literal sparks like going out and everything, and you see the smoke basically coming out of the monitor and everything. So yeah, these women were not holding back at all, and the audience, they were like, holy beep, right? So from this point, Naomi, see, she's no, it's actually Bianca Belair, as the referee, is begging with Jade Cargill to just give this match up. There's no need to prove yourself against Naomi, but Jade Cargill refuses and gets back in the ring. A big reaction then happens from the audience when Naomi tries to jam Jade Cargill's face into one of the corner legs of the table, and the audience is going like, oh, because they realized what was going on there when they were doing the close-up of the camera shot. Naomi, she laughs about this, doing some great maniacal character work, you know, all that stuff and everything. So that was really good. She then picks up a chair and sends Naomi flying off the apron through a Slim Jim sponsored table. She then puts her into the ring to deliver. Naomi, yeah, she then picks up a chair. No, Naomi sends Jade Cargill flying off the apron through a Slim Jim sponsored table. She then puts her into the ring to deliver an X Factor to the steel chair for a near fall. Now, in the closing moments of this match, Naomi puts Jade Cargill on top of the table and then puts the chair on there, and she's gonna go for the split-legged moonsault. But before she could even get up there fully, Naomi grabs the steel chair and just boom, nails Naomi right in the back, and then she goes on top rope and does the Jaded from the top rope onto the table, through the table, and then gets the 1, 2, 3 pan. Phenomenal ending to this match. These women, I think they one up themselves from what I thought was already a really good WrestleMania 41 match. Once again, these two have got really great chemistry, as can be seen most times with those who are really close within the wrestling business. You just have that level of trust with them, that you know they're not going to try to hurt you, so you can go ahead and take those bigger risks. And then as we look towards the end of the match, a very distraught, I think is the word, looking Bianca Belair raises Jade Cargill's hand in victory to still sell that this is still emotionally very hard because these are her sisters, basically her sisters from another mother, and it looked like Jade Cargill is going to go off with a big victory with some huge momentum heading into her world title match at SummerSlam. And Naomi, well, she had a busted nose, so that's about the end most we'll see from her tonight. Or is it? Oh man, yeah, another great match between Jade and Naomi. I'm pretty sure at some point we're gonna get a triple threat match with Bianca Belair added to the mix, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see where things go from here. In the chat, what we got going on, the man 0001 says they use some old 2002 looking Yes, that's camera. Yeah, I mentioned that. Like that camera looked like it was not of the same quality of the newer HD to 4K cameras they're using. He says thing was probably hooked up to a VCR. LOL. Oh man. S&P says all that slamming through tables made me want to snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. It works, you see. They're getting to your mind, SMP. You see the Slim Jim channel, you're like, for some reason I want to go and get a Slim Jim now. That's the sponsorship. Some people are complaining about this. I don't mind. Go ahead and get that money, WWE. The way I see it, honestly, if you're so focused on the Slim Jim sticker on the table versus the cool action that Naomi and Jade Cargill did with that spot, then hey, if that's where your priorities are, that's what your priorities are. But for me, I'm able to stay focused on the action. As long as they're not putting a big giant transparent Slim Jim logo in the whole, taking up most of the screen where I can't even barely see the action, then I'm fine with it. But other than that, yeah, go ahead, WWE, make your money, you know. And maybe that's just the content creator in me speaking, because hey, when you want to get sponsorship, man, hey, go ahead and get that money, make that bank. All right, next up we had the Women's Battle Royal to determine who faces the Women's World Champion at Clash in Paris. This was a lot to keep up with in terms of note taking, so I probably maybe missed a few eliminations, but I'm going to try my best here. So, from what I could gather in from my notes, let's see here. All right, so first off, Nia Jax eliminates Izzy Dane and Tatum Paxson, if I said those names right. Like I said, forgive me, I don't watch NXT on a regular basis, so I'm not familiar with these ladies as much as some of you all out there that do watch it. Nia Jax is then put into the corner and gets a hip attack and stink face from Lola Vice, and during this moment, Keilani Jordan does her best Kofi Kingston impression by doing a handstand from the announce table and then putting her feet on the bottom ropes, and is then able to use her great core strength to get back in the ring and stuff like that, as she originally was landed on by her fellow NXT peers by Nia Jax. And then from there, Julia eliminates Ivy Nile. With all the action going on in the ring, we do get a cool moment where Julia and Stephanie Vaquer start exchanging blows. At first, I thought they were gonna form some sort of team because they did a handshake, but then they keep that continuity existing with their feud where it left off back in NXT. Chelsea Green, and by the way, this is how you know this is great. They finally succeeded in getting Chelsea Green booed unanimously. So Stephanie Vaquer goes for the Devil's Kiss, which is obviously where, you know, made famous by Booker T doing the and all that stuff with it, and the crowd's trying to go, they're ready to do it. The crowd was coming up roared for this, and so because she's gonna deliver the Devil's Kiss to Nikki Bella, and that's where it gets broken up by Chelsea Green. Jada Parker eliminates Natalia. Candice LeRae eliminates Maxine. Kalani Jordan eliminates Candice LeRae, I think. I'm not too sure about that. Like I said, there was a lot of notes to keep up. I must have missed some other elimination because they were going really fast. Kalani Jordan is eliminated by Candice LeRae, despite the fact that she was eliminated, which, if anybody's followed me when it comes to these battle royals and Royal Rumble, I've never been a fan of someone who was eliminated legally can eliminate you. I think you should always legally be eliminated by someone who is legally still in the match. Why WWE does this, I don't know. I've never been a fan of that rule. And then Zelina Vega eliminates Julia. So I guess that was their way of letting Zelina Vega get her payback. So Julia still keeps the title. So there it is from what you get there. I think I missed another elimination, but from there, Piper Niven eliminates B-Fab. Michin is eliminated. I forgot who. Lash Legend eliminates Zelina Vega with a Gorilla Press Slam from the ring to the outside. To the outside on top of Michin and B-Fab. And before that, they did a really good job of making Zelina Vega put her in like a headlock with her legs, making it look like she was going to be eliminated. But of course, she ended up getting overpowered by Lash Legend. Nikki Bella eliminates Isla Dawn. Lola Vice and Nikki Bella both do the Booty Bella Shake to taunt the middle of the ring, because I guess that Lola, they were saying Lola Vice does Nikki Bella's taunt there. Piper Niven eliminates Lola Vice, and then Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella eliminate Piper Niven. From there, Stephanie Vaquer then delivers the Devil's Kiss to Chelsea Green to a thunderous ovation. Audience was going and all that stuff. So obviously that move has gotten way over. From there, what happens next is you get the final. Nikki Bella. I'm trying to remember where do we live off. Chelsea Green, after she gets hit. Chelsea Green then gets hit with Nikki Bella's torture rack attack. Of course, Nikki Bella long ago changed it, because during her original run as the Divas champion almost 10 years ago, wow, it's crazy, it's been 10 years already, when she did the torture rack drop to her knees, the body weight would jammed her neck and caused her to get had to get neck surgery. So now she just turns it into like the torture rack spinning like type of F5 deal and everything. I know a lot of people rag on Nikki Bella, but I have respect for what she's given to this ring. I think the Bella twins really truly did work hard to become better in the ring from that Divas era. Yeah, they're not the talents that the Four Horsewomen are, but I respect them for the effort and trying. And Nikki Bella to come back from the injury she's had, and assists on her brain, and from having a baby, and still coming in here and still being able to do this ring, I got much respect for her for that. And then from there, the final three. Nikki Bella is then eliminated by Lash Legend, and Lash Legend then does the Bella Booty Shake taunt, and we come down to the final three, which is a representation of each brand. Stephanie Vaquer representing Monday Night Raw, Nia Jax representing Friday Night SmackDown, and Lash Legend representing Tuesday Night NXT. So Lash Legend does a very impressive spot where she picks up Nia Jax and puts her over the top rope onto the apron. From there, Stephanie Vaquer and Lash Legend eliminates Nia Jax, and now the final two come down to Stephanie Vaquer and Lash Legend, and the audience goes crazy. They're erupting, they're loud, they're making lots of noise. I didn't think they were going to give it a Lash Legend here, but it's cool to see her feature in this spot, because man, that woman is such a powerhouse. There's got to be a great feud with her and Bianca Belair somewhere down in the future, one-on-one. I know they've had a tag team feud already, but one-on-one down in the main roster. So Stephanie Vaquer delivers basically she does the 619 to Lash Legend, but when she jumps off the top rope, she is caught in midair by Lash Legend, who then puts her into a powerful into like a power bomb position to try and take her out of the ring. But both women, they go over the top rope, hanging on the bottom rope, as Stephanie Vaquer then is able to wrap her thighs around Lash Legend's head to deliver the Devil's Kiss to the edge of the apron, which we all know is the hardest part of the ring. And when she basically frees her thighs from Lash Legend's head, Lash Legend, knocked out cold, her body basically knocked out, rolls to the side, and thus Stephanie Vaquer, as I predicted in the No DQ predictions, wins the Battle Royal and will now go on to get a world title shot at Clash in Paris. Fun Battle Royal. I thought it was fun. It was great. Had some really great moments. I thought every woman got to shine for the most part. Some of those early eliminations were really quick. They didn't get to show much of anything what they could do, but for the most part, everybody shined. There was a great moment here where we got Stephanie to meet for the first time on screen. Stephanie McMahon, of course, speaking Spanish. She ends up talking to Stephanie Vaquer, and Stephanie Vaquer, she speaks a little bit in Spanish and says, "Forgive my English, it's not her first language." But she goes ahead and talks, and I think I caught some of the post show where she said I think she felt it was important to show that because a lot of people told her she would never make it to pro wrestling in America because you're not going to be able to learn to speak English. And Stephanie's still learning English, and look at her success. It just really goes to show you that when you just have some sort of charisma about yourself, some way to connect with the audience, you can overcome that language barrier. And I'm glad this is something we're seeing in modern day WWE. Someone like Stephanie Vaquer, with who was in charge, back then, from if you heard what Becky Lynch was saying and stuff, the people that were in charge of Vince McMahon they were in high positions with Vince McMahon. Stephanie probably would have not gotten such a big push if this was 30 years ago. Just probably wouldn't have happened. So I'm glad we were able to look past language barriers and accents and realize that, hey, at the end of the day, talent is talent. And if you have the charisma and you have something that is able to go ahead and really just basically make a connection with the audience, push them. That's what it's all about. So I'm really cool. It was great to see this moment with both Stephanie McMahon and Stephanie Vaquer in there. And I thought, despite her still learning English, I thought she cut a very passionate promo. So yeah, much props to her on that. All right, let's check out the chat, see what's going on before we move to the next match. Let's see here. SMP says, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and drink your prime. Hulk Hogan and if Hulk Hogan and Logan Paul were a tag team, that'd be an excellent catchphrase for them. The man 0001 says, I can't eat Slim Jim. Well, looks like these sponsorships were definitely not. You're not the target audience for these sponsorships, man 0001. And then he says, sounds like a personal problem. Should have had all of their personal problems together before being in the match. I am not sure who you were referring to. It must have been someone in the battle royal there, basically. So they probably got eliminated that you were talking about. I'm reading these comments, obviously, waiting for me to get through the matches first. Well, let me go ahead and take a break before we get to what I believe is our main event. Oh my gosh, once again, I forgot to change the graphic, but there you all see it. Yeah, Stephanie McMahon raising Stephanie Vaquer's hand in victory. So that was cool. I got to remember to change these graphics when I have a win. This is the problem when you're alive, pal. All right, it is time for the main event of the evening for the WWE Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Iyo Sky. Woo! What a main event to close out. Let's get into this, man. So both women come out with great ovations. So how we all feeling here? It took 3 long months for WWE to finally book Iyo Sky, or at least what feels like 3 long months, for Iyo Sky to finally defend her world title since her last defense back at WrestleMania 41. I just personally feel that a world champion, when she's on the show, they should have been doing more with the build up. There could have been done, but like I said at the beginning of the stream, regardless of the issues with how rushed the build ups were and all this stuff, man, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, the women still went out here and did a phenomenal job telling the story. So as we go into this match here, The match starts off with some pretty intense chain wrestling from both ladies. The audience is still pretty split at this point. Rhea and Iyo, they do some more trading counters. At one point, she was in the corner. Rhea goes for a punch and Iyo blocks like this. She's scared. And Rhea's basically just laughing and does her little, the whole taunt that Iyo does and everything. And this is where they both say they both respect each other, but it's time to start going at it. And things get to the outside where Iyo goes for a suicide dive, but is stopped with an elbow smash by Rhea. And then Iyo delivers a moonsault from the middle rope to take down Rhea from there. Iyo goes for a 619, but actually catches Rhea. It wasn't your traditional 619 where you smash the legs or the shins right into the opponent's face. Instead, she does a 619 and then opens her legs and basically puts Rhea into like a lock with her neck, wraps her legs around Rhea's neck and in between her thighs and stuff, and slams Rhea's head onto the ring apron. Thought that was really cool, really phenomenal, great timing. This is a women's wrestling chant from the audience. Eventually, Rhea Ripley delivers a nasty sounding knee to Iyo Sky and tosses her off the ring apron, sending Iyo face first into the announce table, and she then Irish whips Iyo into the barricade and sends Iyo dropping like upside down. So like this is Iyo's head. She goes in to the barricade and flips upside down and falls down. Like that's the way I would describe it. It was really phenomenal, great looking bump. From there, Iyo eventually is able to counter one of Rhea's attacks with a DDT that Rhea does an excellent job of always selling. How Rhea will just get her head looking like her head gets spiked and everything. It's always great the way Iyo sells, the way Rhea sells that. And there's a funny moment where Iyo basically she's kind of sitting up. She's like, yeah, and then she falls back. So that was really awesome. Just you could tell she's having fun out there while still putting on a phenomenal, great match. There's a really cool counter. There's a really cool counter where I think Iyo is up, but Iyo counters. Rhea lifts Iyo, but Iyo counters by going underneath Rhea's legs, and once she's on the ground, Iyo delivers a double stomp to Rhea's abdomen. From here, she delivers a suicide dive to Rhea, followed by a top rope dropkick to Rhea, and then a bullet train attack, which Rhea is able to kick out at 2. Iyo goes for the over the moonsault, but Rhea quickly gets up and tries to deliver a German suplex from the top rope, only for Iyo to land on her feet, and she is then able to get the better of Rhea by hitting her in the back. And both women, they do a lot of exchanging blows and a lot of great counters in the middle of the ring, and that stops once Iyo hits the poison Rana to Rhea Ripley, only to get another near fall. Audiences is going wild. It is phenomenal. Just exactly what you would expect from these two ladies. As both women lay in the arena, you're getting dueling chants here. Rhea, let's go. Rhea, let's go. Iyo, let's go. Rhea, let's go. Iyo. You're getting that. So that was really awesome. From there, there's another amazing near fall where Rhea Ripley hits the Razor's Edge, followed by a deadlift sit down power bomb. Then this fall was so very close. Like it was like 2 seconds, 0.99. It was like 2 seconds and 99.99 nearly. They couldn't have timed it any more perfect than that. Eventually, Iyo goes for a drop kick off the top rope, but Rhea gets out of the way, and the referee, Jessica Carr, gets hit with the drop kick instead at this point. Rhea then hits Iyo with the Riptide, goes for the pinfall, but there's no referee in sight, and the commentators did a great job of playing this up about how it's more of that crazy bad luck that seems to keep following Rhea around every time she's in a match with Iyo where she hasn't won. So I thought this was great, and I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna get shenanigans. And for the most part, this is where the match goes from. It's like, okay, they showed what these women can do, and this match was really good at showing like the versatility and stuff of them, because they show they can do it from a technical standpoint in the ring. And now we're gonna go ahead and turn this into an all-out brawl. Now this part right here, Rhea, Rhea, she hits another razor's edge to Iyo, and the match spills out to the audience area. Rhea just goes on to this nasty onslaught. So she like basically on the stairs, you have the safety rails. So Rhea kind of puts Iyo Sky in between those safety rails and just bam, 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 just starts hammering Iyo with punches, and then from there, yeah, she does like a punch, and then she then does a massive headbutt, and that takes Iyo out from in between those railing. Eventually, though, Iyo is able to get one up over Rhea, and she jumps from this had to be 15 feet high on this platform, or either some crate boxes where they put all those the equipment at. So she jumps off of that and lands on Rhea Ripley with an insane crossbody from like 15 feet in the air. Looked crazy, and they eventually get back in the ring. Now, referee Jessica Carr is out for a massive amount of time as they go back towards the ring, and it starts to remind me, and shout out to Man0001, because we talked about this in our review of it was our ranking of the where we ranked all 3 WrestleMania trilogies, and when we talked about the WrestleMania 17 match between The Undertaker and Triple H, we mentioned how, yeah, this match kind of took a play out of that book, where the referee was down for so long and nobody wanted to check on the poor referee, where they are able to brawl into the crowd, climb a high platform, and do a big spot, and then come back into the ring while the referee is still down. If you all watch that WrestleMania 17 match with Taker and Triple H, it's exactly almost the same thing what happened from here, and stuff like that. So from here, instead, I will say the spot that they did it on, the platform definitely looked a lot harder, so there was a lot more trust definitely involved there of Iyo jumping all 15 and trusting that Rhea both was gonna catch her and had the strength to do so. So as the action officially goes back into the ringside area, Iyo does a suicide dive and then into some sort of like a sunset power bomb out of the ring through the ropes to Rhea onto the mats below. From here, Iyo throws Rhea Ripley back into the ring and hits her with the over the moonsault, but only gets a near fall as Jessica Carr finally comes to, getting back to the to try and get that pinfall count and everything, and this makes the audience go more unglued because they thought it was over, and the commentators did a good job on commentaries. Michael Cole explained that now Iyo Sky is feeling exactly what Rhea Ripley's been always feeling for all those moments where she had the match won. So I thought that was really awesome there. From here, Rhea Ripley bashes Iyo's head into the ring post, similar to how she did Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. So I'm thinking she's going to go up and do a riptide off the top rope, but instead she lands a Spanish fly off the top rope to Iyo. While both women are down, it looks, man, like who's going to win? Out of nowhere, Naomi's music hits, and out comes Naomi, battered and bloody nose and all, and runs down to the ring with the briefcase. However, she's able to cash in the Money in the Bank to turn this into a triple threat match, and she was about to whack Iyo with the briefcase, but I guess she had to wait for the announcement to be finished so that they can ring the bell to make it official, and then she whacks Iyo in the face, which Michael Cole mentions, of course, triple threat is held under no disqualification rules, so it's legal. So Naomi gets in there and she throws Rhea Ripley out of the ring by tossing her into the turnbuckle post, metal turnbuckle post, and from there she does the split leg moonsault to Iyo to score the 1, 2, 3 and become the new WWE Women's World Champion. As you can see in the image there, the audience goes absolutely crazy, as for the first time since 2017, Naomi is a world champion, making this her third official reign. Excellent match that definitely had an unexpected outcome. As Wade Barrett was saying on commentary, we all were so focused on she's probably going to cash in on Tiffany. She's probably done for the night. Who would have ever... I admit, I didn't see this coming. I didn't think they were going to have Naomi cash in on Rhea and Iyo. I thought they were keeping this completely separate, but there you go. Yeah, and I'm glad to see Naomi get another reign as the world champion. Like I said, I totally did not expect the ending, but it really goes to show the importance of reinventing yourself. Shout out to man 0001 in the chat. Me and him were there when Naomi won her second women's title at WrestleMania 33 in her hometown of Orlando. So it was great to see that, and it's been a long time coming. Naomi, yeah, certainly she's hinting that this might be her last run, because she really is looking to have a baby, a biological baby soon with because she's a stepmother, but her and Jimmy want to have their own biological baby and stuff and things like that. So she was saying that's why this run is very special to her, and yeah, I'm just glad. Even at the press conference, she was talking about how she had to reinvent herself, and this is the importance. It just really goes to show you. So I'm happy for Naomi. These cash-ins can be, I think the concept of the cash-ins can be done better, but it fits Naomi's whole character as far as the heel goes, and her doing any means by necessary to win. So phenomenal, and the audience was loud. They were chanting, "You deserve it." It's a huge moment. It's the thing, even though it was done the wrong way, us fans know how hard that the person Trinity obviously worked really hard to get the Naomi character in this position, and so we respect the work ethic, and it is very happy. Even at the post press conference, she was going back and forth, in character, out of character, and everything. So it's really good, and I've been a big fan of Naomi going back to the early NXT days in 2015. No, what is that? Not 2015. That was 10 years ago. 2010. Man, it's been longer than that. Yeah, and just I could tell already it was something special about Naomi. She was very athletically gifted, and from the Funkadactyls to finally becoming world champion, reinventing herself with the glow, all these years later, leaving the company, coming back, showing what she could do outside of WWE, and then coming in and now, doing this whole new reinvention from everything, from the look to the to the music, to the presentation, to her character, complete overhaul, and she did it. She's the world champion. It's the reason why I said I would love to see Charlotte Flair do something where she reinvents herself and makes us all go like, wow, this new version of Charlotte is so different and cool than what we've seen from her over the last 10 plus years. So I couldn't be more happier for Naomi. She has certainly earned this, and like I said, I'm just so glad she was able to reinvent herself and get herself to this position. So that was absolutely phenomenal. Let's see here what the chat has to say here. The man 0001 said, just followed. Oh, I guess you just followed the new wrestling channel. Yeah, it's my second YouTube channel for pro wrestling. But yeah, I'm still gonna have my acting and filmmaking and Dragon Ball content on my main channel, SonGoshuaku. SMP says, first it was feel the glow, but now everyone must proceed with caution. That they must indeed. And I love that she's doing the tribute to Owen Hart with that. That's really awesome. And SMP also says she earned this. I've been a fan of her since even her FCW days. So there you go. SMP even goes beyond her NXT debut. So he's been following her since FCW. Yeah, Naomi's been one of a kind, and I'm just really glad to see her. She's been having a phenomenal 15 plus year career, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this title reign. Hopefully she gets a very strong title reign, and I would like to see her do some really big wins. It's going to be just very interesting to see where this ultimately goes, and how this will eventually tie into Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for sure. But yeah, overall, I thought WWE Evolution 2 was phenomenal. I've been hearing a lot of fans online saying it, that they think this was the best PLE of the year, which is exactly what a lot were saying about the PLE, the first one back in 2018. From top to bottom, this one, it focused more on the current day talent while also paying respect to the talent of yesteryear. But what was really phenomenal, I think, the match quality, it may have exceeded the first one, because when I go back to that first one, the first one was really good. You had a lot of great moments. You had a lot of great nostalgia with a lot of the wrestlers from the past wrestling the current day wrestlers. I remember Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella having a phenomenal match. Shayna Baszler winning the NXT Women's title. Obviously Becky Lynch and Charlotte stole the show with their last women's standing match. But here, I think what we've seen in Evolution 2 is that with today's talent, which was mostly featured on this card, you're seeing an evolution, literally evolution, where the quality of matches has only gotten better. The talent with the women is stacked, and this was a phenomenal card from top to finish. Nothing was boring, not a bad match. Hats off to all the women that were on this show, and just really good to see women's wrestling in so much of a better place. Growing up, like I said, Molly Holly and Lita were my favorites. Molly Holly could really be one of the best technical wrestlers among the women back then, especially Lita. She did all the cool stuff, and I told her that when I met her. Lita did all the cool stuff, like the guys flying off the ladders and doing the moonsaults, and then you had Chyna, who was an amazing powerhouse, and she was so different than all the other women. And that's why as a kid I gravitated towards women like Chyna and Lita, because they got in the ring and they kicked butt. They did things that the other women weren't doing, and I always wanted to see Hell in a Cell ladder matches and see the women be be featured in that. And I'm glad all these years later that's what they're doing. So I think it's really great. Evolution 2 absolutely did not disappoint. If WWE does a third one, I would love to see WWE actually not rush the build up. But this was phenomenal. Excellent PLE. I think, yeah, the best top to bottom PLE all year. I mean, though that Royal Rumble was really good. the Rumble was really good, and everything. Me, SMP, and the Man 0001 in the chat were really good. We were there and had a fun time in person. So overall, yeah, WWE Evolution 2 was phenomenal. Now then, while I'm on this live stream, I also wanted to go ahead and take the time out to talk about Goldberg's last match. Essentially here, to just talk about it, I grew up a Goldberg fan. Growing up as a kid, I was a big Goldberg fan and everything. So as far as the last match that he had yesterday, I thought he physically looked phenomenal. I was talking about age goals earlier with Trish Stratus and some of the other wrestlers. At 58 years old, Goldberg looked in phenomenal shape. I mean, you all see it right there in the image. Phenomenal. Proven age is only a goal, but of course, moving, he definitely did not move at the explosiveness that he did back in WCW, but I give Goldberg credit in this to come in there at 58 years old. He had a bad knee, bad shoulder from his time working out, and he put on a 14-minute plus match with Gunther. And Gunther, the Ring General, he proved why he is the Ring General. You could tell that he really helped Goldberg through the match and everything. He worked at a pace that could make make the match work. And when Goldberg was on the offense, you know, he did his part to try and make Goldberg look like $1 million with the power. And then like I said, it was 14 minutes. Goldberg going in there, it was a lot longer than most of his other matches. I thought the match was really well worked. They had a commercial break. It was cool to see his son Gage even get in there, so they got a nice video footage of Gunther and Gage in case Gage and Gunther have a match sometime down the road. It was great to see, as you could see back there in the background, so many people from Goldberg's past coming out to accompany him to the ring or be there for the match. I really loved the whole presentation of that. I got hyped again for the Goldberg entrance. There's nothing like it. You know, and Goldberg coming out and everything, it always gets hyped up. So it was great to see. And I give props. Goldberg, you know, shoot, you had Charles Robinson, who refereed a lot of Goldberg's matches, including the one where he beat Hulk Hogan back in 1998 for the WCW World Title. He took a spear, so that man's up there taking some big bumps. And props to Goldberg at 58 years old. You know, Gunther's nowhere near the size, obviously, that he was before the main roster, but he's still a big dude. And for Goldberg at 58 years old to still lift Gunther up and nail the jackhammer, especially on the bad knee and stuff, much props to him. And in the end, Gunther picks up the win by getting Goldberg in the sleeper and making him pass out. So Goldberg, you know, he goes down swinging. I just wish they make up their mind. Is it one arm drop or is it going to be the 3 arm drops? I was a big fan of that back when, you know, you would have the suspense like, oh, I got my 3rd arm up, I got my 3rd arm up and everything and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah, overall, I thought the match was good. I didn't think Goldberg went out there and embarrassed himself. He looked good. It was better than the match he had with Roman. He looked like he had worked really hard to train and overcome the limitations that he had and things like that. So much props to him on that front and stuff like that. So definitely overall I enjoyed the match. That being said, I wish they didn't cut his retirement speech off, so I'm gonna have to check that out online and see the rest of what he said. I didn't want to see that. You know, it was only like 40 seconds, which is ironically how they did Sting in AEW during his retirement match, so he had to go online to catch the rest of it and stuff like that. So that was interesting. That being said, overall, yeah, I say thank you, Goldberg. You will not find many that had the level of intensity that Bill Goldberg had when it came to professional wrestling, WCW or WWE. And as someone who lived it, I was 8 and 9 years old at the time when Goldberg was in his prime in terms of physical power. Shoot, I remember him lifting up the Big Show, who at the time was known as the Giant, of course, played by Paul White. Man, and Big Show was heavy back then, and Goldberg lifts him up in the air and keeps him in the air for like 3 seconds and does the jackhammer. Holy crap, man. Awe-inspiring power. Just phenomenal. And I can't put over enough how big Stone Cold Steve Austin was in that time period. Goldberg matched Stone Cold's popularity. Like, when I was going to school, people were talking about how Goldberg and Stone Cold one-on-one, it was always Austin this, Goldberg this, Austin that, Goldberg that. When I would go into the stores, the magazines of wrestling, they would have Stone Cold and Goldberg right there on the cover. So I cannot understate how impressive it is, how impressive you have got to be in terms of star power. I'm not talking about in-ring ability, but star power to match the level of star power of Stone Cold Steve Austin in that late 90s period. And that's what Goldberg did. It is unfortunate, though. Goldberg, of course, ended the career accidentally, I believe, of one of the greatest, if not the greatest, technical professional wrestler of all time, Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, the thing is, and this goes to the WCW, I think you got to look back. WCW, you know, they were so obsessed with trying to overcome WWE. They they took Goldberg and they saw he was catching fire with the way they were presenting him, the way they were putting him out there, and they had Goldberg go out and dominate people, and it got over, and they realized, okay, WWE's made a comeback now. What do we got to counter program Stone Cold Steve Austin? We got this Goldberg guy. Then let's put him out there, and they pushed him obviously too soon, to the point where he ended up kicking Bret the Hitman Hart, not knowing how to do it right, and it ended Bret Hart's career, and it's unfortunate, and stuff like that. And I do believe that Goldberg truly regrets that, regardless if Bret Hart does not believe him. I have much respect for both what Goldberg and Bret Hart have done for the industry. Bret Hart, obviously, one of the greatest all-time technical wrestlers. Goldberg, one of the greatest intense personalities or wrestlers we've ever had in the business in terms of pure intensity and stuff, and it's a shame that it ended the way it did, but overall, Goldberg got me hyped as a kid, got my brother hyped as a teenager, and you think about moments, and what I think at the end of the day, what a lot of these wrestlers, their moments, like it's fun for us to talk about it. Sometimes you like the storyline, sometimes you don't, sometimes you like matches, other matches are better than others and all that stuff. But you think about what these men and women do in the industry and how they create moments for families. I'll share this right here. My stepfather, he came into my life when about 1999. I was like 9 years old. So we're all going with my family, and back in the 90s, I think they had like these little, you put a quarter in or something, or maybe it was $1 or whatever. You put the money in there and you could get these stickers, and they had Goldberg, a sticker of Goldberg, on this machine. So I tell my mom, like, "Oh, Mom, look, it's Bill Goldberg." And I'll never forget it, because my stepfather, he goes like, "Oh, you like wrestling? I didn't know you like wrestling. I like wrestling too." And I look up at my stepfather and I'm like, "You do?" And me and him have been close ever since, over 26 years or 26 plus years now. Whenever we get a chance to watch pro wrestling together, we still do. And that goes back to Goldberg. Goldberg had such an impact on me as a kid, such an impact on my stepfather as a young adult at the time, that it resonated with us, and it kind of what bonded us together, and saw that we had this mutual love for professional wrestling, and out of it, a great father and son relationship that is still going strong to this day is formed. And I think Goldberg would be appreciative to know that what he did in the ring in WCW created many great bonding moments for families that enjoyed watching wrestling, whether it be me and my stepfather or others, hey, me and my cousins, or my brothers, or hey, my sister, or hey, me and my best friends, we used to watch WCW, and we had a lot of great moments together just watching you do your thing. So moments like that, I think, is the important things that I'm thankful for what Goldberg did. A lot of great moments, a lot of great fun times growing up, and I am forever thankful for the career that Goldberg was able to give. Limited in the ring, obviously, couldn't go that much. Obviously, as you get older and learn about the business, Goldberg nowhere was the greatest technical wrestler ever. He's not even nowhere near the list. But when you think of his star power and you think of his level of intensity, man, I think that's what made Goldberg phenomenal. And I wasn't a fan of some of the booking they did back in the 2010s and things of that nature when it came to him. Like, I don't think he should have gone over Kevin Owens in 2017. I don't think he absolutely should have gone over The Fiend back in 2020. But that was how Vince McMahon was pushing him. But I am glad Goldberg was able to come back and right the wrongs of his first WWE run. Redeem himself from that match he had with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20, and look at what he did here at WrestleMania 33. I don't know if the man 0001's in the chat, because I know he is no fan of Goldberg at all. But we were in that match, and I remember even he was telling me how he liked the match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 33. It was phenomenal to see, and things didn't go well with his match with The Undertaker, but then he had a great match with I think it was He had a great match with Bobby Lashley. Came back, put Drew McIntyre over, and then, put Roman Reigns over. So, he get to come back and give back to the business and help put over some of today's top stars, and even Gunther right here. So overall, and like I said, the effort he put in for 14 minutes, yeah, it was phenomenal. So I just wanted to make sure I paid my respect and everything. As someone who grew up a fan of Goldberg, yeah, not every moment with him was it was easy to get through, particularly with some of the way they booked him in WWE, particularly Vince McMahon's booking and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not holding that against Goldberg. I'm happy that he was able to come back and give the run. His son got to grow up literally seeing his father. I mean, look, remember, he's a little boy when he came back in 2016, and through this off and on part-time run he's had over the last 9 years. Like, his son's all grown up now and got to see his father do what he did in the ring. So that was really good. So overall, I just want to give my thoughts basically on Bill Goldberg's last match. I thought he had one of the most he's made his mark in professional wrestling history. He is one of the biggest stars of that Monday Night Raw roster. Like him or not, that cannot be denied, and he is one of the most intense individuals ever in the ring. I just wish, obviously, things could have worked out better with him getting the proper training from the very beginning, so that unfortunate accidents like what happened with Bret Hart didn't happen. But hey, at the end of the day, Goldberg still definitely, I think, made his mark on professional wrestling. And to that I say, thank you, Bill Goldberg. All right, and so pretty much that concludes, I think, most of the live stream. And see, we got no new chat. So yeah, hey everyone, I don't really do these live streams I don't really do them outside of the big four, but I wanted to do it for Evolution because I enjoyed the first one so much, and also wanted to go ahead and talk about Goldberg's last retirement match and what Goldberg meant to me as a professional wrestling fan. And so with that being said, for those who have joined me, vertical stream, horizontal stream, and those who are going to be watching on demand, thanks for checking out. And you can watch more of my WWE content right there on the screen, and make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, followed by hitting the notification bell so that you are notified when I release new content. All links will be in the description and pinned comment below. I'll be back with a review of WWE SummerSlam 2025 for both nights. Take care.